What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Jake coming at you with another video where we're talking about computer science. Today I have something to disclose about myself. I am in fact a cloud developer, and I thought I would dedicate this video to talking about the cloud. When I talk to people that aren't into computer science, that aren't in IT, usually when I say the cloud, they think of this magical being or the scary thing that just siphons all their data. Although, it can be thought of as that at times, it is actually this amazing beast of a machine that makes my life better, that makes your life better, and that makes the world just a awesome and better place, at least I think. And I hope to share why. So stick around. Let's talk about the cloud. So why the cloud? Before I get into that, I just want to quickly say that for the people that have been watching the show, yes, I have found a rhythm when it comes to making the videos. I'm definitely enjoying this little whiteboard presentation instead of, going into the weeds in the technical stuff or just me sitting and talking. Having, just a general whiteboard, discussing the idea, having a little bit of graphics as we go along, I find to be super helpful and super enjoyable as me, the producer, and hopefully as you, the viewer. So leave a comment if that's how you also feel. But why the cloud? Well, we use the cloud. You might have noticed in recent years, there have been a lot of software as a service applications that have come into play. And what I'm talking about, is software that can be used to deliver a service to you to make your life easier. Snapchat, when you open like the weather app on your phone, or Adobe Lightroom, Photoshop, Premiere, OBS, Twitch, all these services that are like on your phone, that are on the web, on the internet and all that jazz, like they've really been coming out as of recently. And why has that been? Well, it's not only because more people are getting into IT, it's because it's so much more easier as like a healthcare industry, as a food industry, as just like I'm making business cards and I need XYZ. So like everyone can get into the IT space, and that is because of the cloud. So for example, let's say that me and you are running a business and we make pizzas. We are cooking and we are selling pizzas, in our local town, in our local city, whatnot. And we're starting to notice that all these pizza stops or all these other restaurants around us are making websites and having these online delivery platforms where, people can make orders online and just, pick it up as they go. That is very satisfying for a customer. I don't have to sit in line out in the pizza restaurant. I can make the order and just come and pick it up. Me as the restaurant, I can see that there's some orders that are coming in, it's more money, yada yada yada. That's a big business case. And so I just own a pizza place. We own a pizza place. We don't really know IT, and we really don't know how to make a website and how to make a service where people can make online orders. So back in the day, what you would have to do is you'd have to get a server or some sort. This is one of my old PCs. You'd have to get a server and set that baby up somewhere. Who knows where? Maybe in your house, or maybe in like a warehouse, maybe in the back of the restaurant. And a little out of breath as they're picking that guy up on the spot. But okay, so when it comes to hosting it yourself, like back in the day, hosting before the cloud, we have to decide some place to store that server. The server itself has to get stored somewhere, wherever that may be. And depending on where that is, there's the factor of the internet speed in your area. If you weren't living in New York or Atlanta or LA, back in 2010, your internet speed was probably not too hot. Obviously, I'm sure that other cities had great internet, but for towns, for rural areas, you're talking like 25 megabits per second, maybe 50 to 100. Now you can get 300 to 1,000 megabits per second. It's like nothing. It's like $40. But back in the day, it was like 100 just for 50. So, that internet speed could be severely limiting if you're hosting it in your town, hosting it yourself. What else could be, a big factor is how much traffic are we getting? Are we getting, 1,000 requests a day? Are we getting 10,000 requests a day? How about when Black Friday happens and we have a sale and we're selling pizzas for 2 for 1, or maybe it's like Pizza Tuesday? Can we make it Pizza Tuesday instead of Taco Tuesday? And we just get some crazy traffic and we need to scale our system. If we wanted to scale our system physically, we'd have to buy a machine and configure it to host that extra traffic, which could be extremely expensive. And finally, the other factor that really matters is like this thing called disaster recovery. Essentially, like what happens if the power all of a sudden shuts off and maybe it just shorts the PC, or maybe a hurricane comes, or just something happens and some data gets messed up. If you're hosting this yourself, you're going to get some data redundancy, usually called RAID storage. And essentially means like, okay, we're going to have like 5 terabytes of storage, but only 1 terabyte is going to be actual storage, and the other 4 are going to be redundant data. So that way, if something happens, we have backups. And you can bet if you're holding transactional, history or something like that, you're going to need to buy some RAID storage. And this is like by no means like exactly what you need. But to get like a RAID storage box that would fit in a server rack, like a modern one, we're talking about $7,000 just to get that guy set up. But we make pizzas. We do not need to spend $7,000 on equipment because the cloud exists. The cloud is to the rescue. And when we talk about the cloud, what I'm really talking about is AWS. If you watch NFL football, you know what AWS is. Azure and Google Cloud. There's also this thing called Oracle Cloud and like Alibaba Cloud. And I think IBM is making their own cloud too, but these are the main 3. These are the only 3 you need to know. The other ones, they better be paying you to learn it, is all I'm going to say. But essentially, we can go to the Azure website. We can go to the AWS website, and we can say, hey, make me a computer, make me a server, and I'm going to upload my server code to you, AWS, and you're just going to host my service. So, in our pizza place, in our beautiful pizza land, this is Azure, by the way, we have the internet starting off, and we're just going to send it. Let's get a different marker out. We're going to just say, hey, make an app service. Thank you so much, Azure. Oh, this is going to be the IP address of my machine, and I want 2 CPUs. I want 5 gigs of RAM, and I want it to be this quick. Okay, how much is that going to cost me a month? Oh, I'm charged on a monthly basis instead of like this one flat fee. That's great. It's only $15 a month. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Azure. So, we first technically have to make a service plan, and that service plan is going to be actually what the hardware is. That's going to be like that RAM stuff. And then the app service, this one right here, is going to be the actual code that we just upload to it. And we can, give it the custom name that it needs, configure it with, HTTPS. And we have a service that is running on the cloud that there is no server. There's no server around. It's just on Microsoft's side. They have these giant data centers where that server lives, but we don't have to physically manage it ourselves. It's Microsoft's job to do that. And then it's very easy to just add on to it. If I get more traffic, we can just make more app services. If we want to make additional features, we can click a few buttons and make a blob storage, which would be able to save files, maybe like pictures of receipts, as well as SQL database information. So we're talking like, the customer information, if they have favorite orders, if they're making accounts. If they're making accounts, they would actually sign up with Active Directory over here, most likely. This is going to give you your name, so this all ties together. It gets crazy quick. But as you can see, like we don't have to actually hold any of this physically. It's all in the cloud, and by in the cloud, it's just on one of these 3 companies' infrastructure. So Google has their databases, their big server racks. And when I mean big, I mean big. Azure, Microsoft, they have their server racks, and AWS has their server racks. And we just click a few buttons and configure something on their servers. And so we can have our purple, pink server. We can add on some user creation, username, password stuff with Active Directory as a service, and we can get some data with blob storage and SQL database stuff. So I hope that this video kind of shows how we can go from having, the physical machines that you actually have to carry around and configure yourself to just like a few clicks of a button. And I don't know about you, but that surely seems to make the process of making a software as a service way easier and way more accessible to everyone, rather than actually having to go out and buy the equipment and get started from scratch. So that makes my life easy. It should make your life easy because of all the great services that are around us now. And if you ever wanted to start your own SaaS, it's literally a few button clicks away. So you can get started. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Take care. Peace.